Welcome everyone to today's Pros Who Know webinar series. My name is Sandra Video, Business Development Officer for the Fresno Area Hispanic Foundation. And on behalf of our team, I would like to say thank you for joining us this afternoon. Our guest speaker for today's webinar is Shawn, who is CEO and Brand Strategist at Butler Branding. Before we get started, I would like to share with you a quick tutorial on using the Zoom chat feature. I know a lot of you have probably been on several webinars throughout these last few days, but just as a reminder, if you're accessing the webinar through a laptop or tablet, you can locate this tool by selecting the chat icon. And if you're using a mobile device, you can access this tool by selecting More and then Chat. During the presentation, please submit your questions through this tool. We will monitor and address your comments during the Q&A session. Our agenda for today is the following. I will share briefly about the Fresno Area Hispanic Foundation and then transition to our guest speaker, Shawn, followed by our Q&A session. The Fresno Area Hispanic Foundation is a nonprofit organization with the mission to promote education and self-sufficiency. Our three core programs include our Technical Assistance Program, Microloan Program, and our Downtown Business Hub. Our bilingual incubator is located in downtown Fresno and is equipped to offer office space for startup and existing businesses, in addition to conference and training facilities. We assist individuals that are looking to start a business or expand their business by providing them with the tools, educational training, and resources for business growth. Please feel free to reach out to us for assistance by connecting via phone, email, or sending us a message through our social media platforms. If you need further assistance or to sign up for notifications on our weekly webinars, please contact our team members through these methods. I also want to share about the Womanpreneur, which is a 4-month online program that will be starting on May 12th. This program provides women entrepreneurs marketing strategies to enhance or develop new strategies to survive during COVID-19 by selling products online, and there is no cost to participate. Thank you to our community partners. I just want to remind that registration will be closing this Thursday, April 30. And if you are interested or if you know a woman entrepreneur that would benefit from participating in this program, please have them send us an email to incubator@fresnodvh.org, and we will forward the registration link. Once again, there is no cost to participate in this program. I would now like to introduce you to our guest speaker for today. Welcome, Shawn, and thank you for collaborating with us to provide this exciting webinar to our business community.
Absolutely.
As a reminder, we will have a Q&A session after the presentation, so please use the chat feature to submit your questions.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen right now. Let me know, Sandra, if you can see what I'm seeing.
Yep, looks like we're good.
Perfect. Well, guys, welcome. Thanks for having me. I'm glad to share any bit of information I can. As Sandra said, my name is Shawn. I'm the lead strategist and CEO at Butler Branding. And so as a strategist, my role is really to learn about businesses, to talk with them, to consult with them, to figure out who they are, who their competition is, who their audience is, and how to help them do more and better with marketing. Because every business that I speak with knows that they could do more and better with marketing. They just don't really know where and how to start. They don't want to waste their money and efforts, because it takes a lot of time to do things. And so most of the business owners I meet with, they want to do more and they're willing to do more. They're willing to invest. They just don't want to waste their time, spin their wheels, or waste their money marketing in the wrong way. And so they need a little bit of confidence and clarity. And so that's really what my job is to do, is to help people get that. And typically we charge for strategy services. And so today I'm going to be giving you a bunch of tools that I've put in my tool belt, in my arsenal, as part of my strategy process. If you guys have any questions whatsoever during the middle of my talk, please feel free to enter those into the chat room. If I don't see them right away, Sandra, feel free to interrupt me at any point in time if you think that it's a good question in regards to what we're talking about. And so today I do want to equip you with those tools from my strategy tool belt, some of the exercises that I walk people through. keep in mind that this is typically done in a facilitated fashion. So where it's me facilitating these exercises with the client, we document them together, and then from that we build a plan. Today, I'm assuming that you guys are ready with pen and paper, and you're ready to take notes, and treat this more like an actual workshop rather than just a long talking head session with me just spouting out information. I really want you guys to leave with an actual solid game plan. A little bit about our company. We're a full service branding and marketing agency. So people primarily come to us for three things. It's identity design, which is your logo and how you're positioning your brand, brand strategy, or marketing. And obviously part of that is web design. Web design is a huge part of what we do. And so we have a full team of creatives and strategists and marketers to help do that. That's my shameless plug. Today, I want to talk about marketing. I'm calling it Marketing 101. There's a few different things that we'll be covering. Before I go into some of the strategies, I think it's important to identify what some of the pitfalls are. Pitfalls to marketing. These are things that I think a lot of businesses get wrong, and this is where they're wasting time and money and energy and efforts, or they're missing a lot of low-hanging fruit, and their competition is coming up and they're gathering it. And so some of the pitfalls is the first one is unclarity. To not be clear with your messaging, with how you're positioning your brand. This graphic right here says, "Is this how people see you?" This is how most people explain their business to people. They know there's something there. They know that it might be something they can benefit from, but they don't really understand the true value of what it is you offer. It's what we call the knowledge gap, right? If your customers, your potential audience, they know maybe 0 about your business, your knowledge about what you do is at a 10. A lot of businesses try to speak to their customers at like a level 7 or an 8, when really you have to simplify your message to like a level 2 or 3. And so what I mean by this, try to not say too much when it comes to your website, your marketing materials, your brochures. A lot of businesses are really emotionally attached to all these things that they think are so important for people to know. And they have all these long paragraphs of content, and nobody cares. You're missing out on that low-hanging fruit because you're confusing your message. And so the first thing is make sure that you're absolutely clear in how you're presenting your business to your audience. Second thing is what I call the shotgun effect. If you ever have shot a shotgun with birdshot, it's not one big bullet. It's a bunch of tiny little BBs, hundreds of little BBs, and hopefully something hits a bird. And what we call the shotgun method of marketing is where businesses, they try to shoot everything they can out there. They're going to post something on Facebook. They're going to start an Instagram account. They're going to do something on Twitter. We have a blog. We have email marketing. And they have all of the tools and all of the things, but there's no real strategy guiding it. And they're just kind of throwing everything they can at the window, seeing what sticks. And if something does work, they don't really know how to pinpoint what it was that actually worked so that they can scale that up. And so we want to help businesses try to avoid the shotgun marketing method, to where instead of throwing everything out there, you focus on maybe a few things and do them really well. And those few things are guided by a strategy. So you have clarity going into your marketing efforts. And that way you can really gauge what's working, what's not, what you can change. The third thing is not keeping up with marketing trends. If your business is not moving as fast as the market is changing, then you're going to be falling behind. Right now, we're living in a day and age to where things are changing so fast. User behavior is changing. And if your marketing efforts are not keeping up with user behavior, you're going to be falling behind. And all it takes is a young company that with a little bit of marketing money behind them to really take advantage and take a part of the market share. And so you need to make sure that you're keeping up with marketing behavior, with user behavior. And then the last pitfall is putting all of your marketing eggs in one basket. So a lot of people, they say, well, I'm just going to do ClickFunnels, or I'm just going to do Facebook marketing, or I'm just going to do blogging, or whatever the one thing is for marketing. They put all their eggs in one basket. The Small Business Administration, as well as the American Marketing Administration, all recommend, including myself, to have multiple streams of marketing in multiple categories. So we'll talk about the categories of marketing and the different initiatives that you can have, but have more than one thing. Don't have one avenue of marketing take up like 80% of your marketing efforts. You want to spread it out, so that way if one starts to fall off, you don't have all of your efforts in that one basket. You want to diversify your efforts. Okay, so a couple of things to do. These are some practical things. If you have a pen and paper, I want you guys to write these things down. One is craft your elevator pitch. Craft your elevator pitch. I'll talk to you about what an elevator pitch is, and I'll give you a tool in how to help you craft it. But write down this to do. This is your homework after you leave this, is to craft an elevator pitch. Second is create a marketing plan. So that way you're not doing the shotgun method of marketing, that you have a strategic plan going into it. Create some sort of a game plan that you could commit to for at least 4 to 7 months. You don't want to do something for a month, try it out, and then quit at the end. You want to give yourself a legitimate time frame to really validate your assumptions, to report, to analyze what's working, what's not, what needs to be changed, if anything, or added to or taken away. So commit to a marketing plan that you can run for at least 4 to 6 months. Third thing is you want to be found where people are looking. It sounds very simple. That's the whole point of marketing, is that you're putting your business in front of people and starting a conversation. But you just got to ask yourself, where is my audience's attention? Is my audience attention on Facebook? Well, the statistics show that more than likely they are going to be facing towards Facebook as the number one online activity to this day. The other place that you want to be found is on Google. Where are people looking for answers to specific problems that they have that you can help them with? Well, they're going to Google. And so are you found where your audience is looking? So that's the third thing, is kind of do an audit, see what your presence is like in these places. And then the fourth thing is diversify your marketing efforts. Don't just put all your eggs in that one basket. So here's what you need to do. I have some bare minimum things that I'm going to suggest to you. But before we even talk about the minimums of marketing, I want to talk to you guys about clarifying your elevator pitch. Okay, that was your first step, was to create an elevator pitch, or to craft that. So some of you guys might be asking, well, what is an elevator pitch? An elevator pitch is basically like this scenario. You walk into an elevator, somebody asks you, hey, what do you do? Or tell me about your business. You have 30 seconds to explain, and you don't need to confuse them, right? So can you explain something the way I always tell, my friends, my clients, explain it in such a way that your mom can understand it. If you can explain it to your mom, if you can explain it to your kids in simple words, then that's your elevator pitch. And you need to do it within 30 seconds. And so here is a tool to put in your tool belt to help you figure out how to do that. You got to follow this formula. To craft your elevator pitch, you start with the problem plus your solution plus the result equals your elevator pitch. So the felt need, the problem that your audience has that you can help with, plus your proposed solution, how are you planning on helping them? And then what is their end result? That equals your elevator pitch. Problem plus solution plus result equals your elevator pitch. So I'll give you an example. You know how a lot of businesses have a hard time being found by the people they want to serve? Well, we help them increase awareness, generate leads, and boost sales through digital marketing. We handle all their marketing so they could focus on their business. That's an elevator pitch. Took 30 seconds. I addressed the problem, and an easy way to do that is talk to people about, like, how, and then finish the sentence. How, if you're a real estate agent and you're looking for new home buyers, how a lot of times people are trying to buy a home for their first time, but they don't want to. They don't really know what to look for, and they're kind of scared. They don't want to waste money. The solution. Well, I help first-time home buyers navigate the complexities of buying their first home, so that they can feel confident in their purchase and avoid all the mistakes that a lot of first home buyers make. Problem, solution, result. And you could do that same framework for any kind of business. So you just want to make sure you have an elevator pitch that you can explain in 30 seconds. This is going to convert into marketing copy that you can use on your website. You could use it on a brochure. You can use it for a mailer. You can use it on social media. But it starts with the copy, with the messaging. Clarifying your message is half the battle. You want to do this before you go to market. The reason why is because if you go to market, let's just pretend that I generate, 1,000 views to your website. You've traditionally had maybe 50 views a month on your website. Now I could get you to 1,000 views. If I get 1,000 people to your website and you say a confusing message and you're losing people, it takes them more than 5 seconds to figure out who you are, what you do, what benefit it adds to their life, and what action they need to take advantage of it. If you're confusing them and you don't clarify your message, you're going to waste your money, and all of those views were for nothing. And so clarifying your message is the first thing you have to do. For those of you who want a messaging audit, if you want help kind of navigating around this, I'm offering this to anybody who's on this call with the Fresno Area Hispanic Foundation. If you are on this call, you can email Shawn@butlerbranding.com and just say free messaging audit. And I'll send you a link to my calendar. We can schedule a time to review together. I'm not going to just take a look at your stuff. It would need to be a phone call to where we're actually looking at your website together. And I could give you some pointers and some tips as to things you might be able to clarify and things that you might be able to change. And it's always helpful to have an outside objective third-party opinion about your how you're communicating your message, because a lot of times as business owners, we're so close to our business that it's hard for us to see outside of it. And so if you want to take advantage of that, let me know. I can help you do that. All right. Part 2 is outside of identifying the pitfalls. Let's define some of our terms. When it comes to marketing, marketing is different than advertising. Advertising is name recognition, it's exposure. Marketing is really specifically about starting a conversation with your audience, starting a conversation. So that's the difference between marketing and advertising. And when it comes to marketing, there's really 3 types of marketing. There's inbound marketing, there's outbound marketing, and there's networking. Okay. Inbound marketing, this is where you are, this is the sexy form of marketing that everybody wants to take advantage of. But it's not the only thing that you need to be thinking about. If you put all of your eggs in the inbound marketing basket, it's going to be a very long turnaround time before you start to see the results. You have to have all 3 going at the same time. So the way I compare it to is dating, right? If you were on the market and you were dating, and you, let's just say, go to a gathering, a party, some cocktail party or something like that. There's 3 ways you can try to attract the right person. One is inbound. This is where you fix yourself up. You have something valuable to offer people. You're outgoing. You're catching people's attention, and you have some sort of incentive for people to start a conversation with you. This is where they walk up to you and they initiate the conversation. So from a business front, this means creating valuable content that that are willing to trade their contact information to receive. So again, going back to the real estate example, if you're helping first-time home buyers, maybe you could create a one-page sheet on how to avoid the 5 mistakes that every first-time home buyer makes. And you could do that with any industry, how to avoid the pitfalls. People want to miss out on pain. And so if you can help them do that by creating maybe a one sheet or some sort of an FAQ page, and then you're saying, hey, this is free, I'm giving it away. Give me your email address and it'll end up in your inbox. That's called a value exchange or content marketing. And this is where people are trading their contact information to receive that content. Now they're in your list and you can follow back up with them later on with more marketing emails. And now you've initiated that conversation. And in fact, they've come up to you. This is also in the form of search engine optimization. So if there's a word, SEO, it's not as confusing as people wanted to make it sound. Search engine optimization is simply making yourself easily found on a search engine. It's optimizing your site or your presence to be easily found on a search engine like Google when people are doing a search. If you think of the internet as being a gigantic library with billions of books, your website is one book among billions. People don't just go to this library and pick out a book. They go to the librarian. They're like, hey, I'm looking for a book about real estate in Fresno, California. And so the librarian, which is Google, their job is to find the best resource they can for people who are inquiring. And so if you have a good website, you have a good online presence, you're adding content to it, you're keeping up to date with it, the content on your website shows that you're an expert in whatever it is people are looking for, then the librarian's job is to point people to your book or to your website. And so that's how SEO works. If you guys want more information about that, contact me. I can explain it, but there's a ton of free resources that we have on YouTube. And if you Google how does SEO work or how do search engines work and what to do about it, we have videos on YouTube about that. So that's what inbound marketing is. It's where the audience comes to you and they initiate the conversation. Like I said, everybody wants that because they don't want to do the awkward outbound marketing thing, right? But you have to do this. This is where, again, if you're in the dating scene and you're at a cocktail party, this is where you build up the courage to initiate the conversation with somebody that you're attracted to. So you want to go to your target audience and you start the conversation with them. You're approaching them. You're giving them a reason to respond. This could be things like making phone calls. This could be things like canvassing, going door to door. This could be things like sending out mailers or going out to where your audience is and starting conversations with them. So that's outbound marketing. Again, it's a little bit more awkward. People don't like to do it. It gets people outside of their comfort zone. But if you want to have the results that nobody else has, you have to do the things that nobody else is willing to do. And outbound marketing, if you have a solid outbound marketing strategy, chances are you're going to be ahead of the game in front of your competition. And then the last form of marketing is called networking. This is what we're doing right now. A lot of you guys, maybe you've never heard about Butler branding, but now you have. The reason why is because I'm networking with the Fresno Area Hispanic Foundation to put on this workshop for you guys. Hopefully I'm demonstrating value. This is a form of marketing. I'm giving you guys all this value for free, all this content for free, with the hope and the expectation that if and when you're ready to do something about your marketing and hire somebody, that, hey, you'll at least know somebody, Shawn with Butler Branding, who can help you with that. This is called networking. You need to go tap into other networks or go to where your audience congregates and introduce yourself. This is broadening your sphere of influence. So this could be things like joining the Fresno Area Hispanic Foundation. They have events, they have conferences, they have mixers, they have workshops, they have all these opportunities to get plugged in, especially if you're a B2B, because their whole network is with other businesses. But even if you're B2C, they have opportunities for you guys to network with other people. And so this is broadening your sphere of influence. This means going to events. This means adding yourself to different groups, maybe a Facebook group of like-minded people. I'll just give you an example. One of our clients is a cigar lounge, and they want to not only attract Central Valley cigar smokers who might go to a lounge, they also want to broaden their reach to the online community because they're going to have an online presence. And so what we did was we created a Facebook group. And so a group is different than a page. A group is a community of like-minded people who are celebrating, educating, and talking about a particular topic. If you like knitting, you could join a knitting Facebook group. If you are into cigars, you can join a group on Facebook of people that enjoy these types of things. The reason why these groups are a good form of marketing outside of your page is because if you have a Facebook page, and you notice this, if you start posting content on your Facebook page as a business, you notice that you get a lot less engagement than you do personally. There's a reason for that. Facebook wants your money as a business to put your content in front of new people. If you're an individual and you're contributing to a community, the engagement and your reach goes up. Hopefully I don't bore you guys with the numbers here, but if I have, for example, 100 people that like my Facebook page, there's a 2% organic reach, meaning if I post something, Facebook will show it to 2 of the 100 people that like my page. And if one of those 2 people like it, comment, or share, then they'll show it to more. But it's a very long, slow process. In order for me to increase my reach, I have to pay Facebook money to advertise. It's worth it, but that's just how it works. if I put that same piece of content, not on my page, but personally, and I share in a community that maybe only has 100 people in that Facebook group, it will show it to about 75% of the people that are in that group. So I've exponentially increased my reach just by not putting it on my my business page, but putting it in a group. So that's part of networking. Again, if you guys want more information on that, we could go deeper into how that could benefit your business. But you can either start a group or join a group and contribute to the conversation. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions on that. Again, I'm going to speed through a lot of this because I do want to get to the Q&A. The bottom line is get clear on what initiatives you're going to run with. So now that you know your terms, inbound marketing, there's a few different ways of doing that: social media, SEO, content marketing. Outbound marketing, that's mailers, canvassing, calling, you initiating the conversation; or networking, that's attending groups, functions, things like that, or starting online communities or joining online communities. Now that you know the three different categories, you have to get clear on which initiatives you're going to run with that work for you. Okay, so what I would do is draw on a piece of paper: inbound, outbound, and networking. Those are three columns or three categories. After you do that, put down 2 to 4 things you can do in each one of those categories, and things that you're going to do for at least 4 to 7 months. Okay, now you're starting to create your marketing strategy. Bare minimum. Okay, you guys still with me? I wish I could see you guys to see if everybody's still checked in here. Maybe send some comments through the chat if you can. All right, so at the bare minimum, there's a couple things you need to do. One is have a website with a contact form. Have a website with a contact form. If you don't have a website, I mean, your website is really going to be the hub of all of your marketing efforts. And so you have to have your website. You got to make sure that it has a contact form so people can fill it out and that goes to your inbox. Don't just put your email as a link there. Have them fill it out online. The chances of them clicking on your email link and then emailing you, as opposed to them filling out the form while they're already, as they're already on your site, the chances go way down. So it's way better to have a contact form on your website. The next thing is to make sure you have a Google My Business listing, a Google My Business listing. Before I continue with this, Carlos is asking, what is an affordable website? An affordable website, there's really a few ways you can go about doing this. The most affordable is called free. Right, and free, there's options, things like Wix, and I think I'm not sure if Wix is fully free now, but if not, free is pretty stinking close to free. There's the level up, which is like Squarespace, and these are things that you could kind of do on your own. Google, I think, has like a website builder. If you have a zero budget, then you have to have something up. It costs $15 if you go to GoDaddy.com and you buy a domain name, which is like my business, mybusiness.com, or whatever it is, butlerbranding.com. That's your domain. It costs about $15 to have that. If you're going to host, it usually costs about $200 a year to have the infrastructure for a website. But if you go to something like Wix, you could get it for free. The next level up from that is hire a cheap designer. Hiring a cheap designer would be going to somewhere like Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com. It's always a gamble because sometimes they might be someone in Bangladesh or Pakistan doing it for very cheap. There's nothing wrong with doing it with Bangladesh or Pakistan. It's just that there's going to be a time difference. There might be a communication barrier, a language barrier, and then sometimes it's kind of iffy on the work. But you can, if you know how to search Fiverr you can find some pretty solid designs for really cheap. The next level up would be to go to an agency, and that's something more like us. It's going to be more on the costly side, but this is for the brands that have the money to invest in it, and they want to make sure that they are clear about their messaging and how they're displaying themselves. So there's free options, there's cheap options, and then there's more premium options. So it really depends on what you're looking for. So Carlos, hopefully that answers the question. Okay, the second tip was to claim and maintain your Google My Business listing. By the way, all of these bare minimum things I'm talking about are free, right? So to have a website with a contact form, you could do that with Wix or Google for free. To your Google My Business listing, this is to where you are showing up on the map in Google, and people can leave reviews, and they could call you, they could see your images. This is free. Google wants to make sure that they highlight businesses in the local area. And so you need to make sure you go in there and claim your listing. A lot of times, just by virtue of being in business, if you've been around for a while, Google will already have a listing for you. But it's not claimed by anybody. And that's kind of a scary place to be. If you have a Google My Business listing and you haven't claimed it, you want to make sure you go in there and claim it before someone else tries to, and someone else can try to if they put forth the effort. So go to Google My Business, claim your listing, and maintain it. By maintaining it, I mean periodically update photos, make sure all your contact information is correct. Make sure you're responding to reviews if people are leaving reviews. And the unfortunate thing about online reviews is people don't typically go out of their way to say how awesome you are. When they leave a review, it's going to be a lot of people going there to complain about a thing. And so it's really important to make sure that you push people or direct people to leave a review. Tell them it'll really help your business out if they can leave a review and give their honest feedback. So that way it kind of drowns out any negativity that might come. And if you're like, well, we don't have any complaints, it's just because you haven't been around long enough. It'll happen. The other thing is to build a list, an email list, and stay in touch via email with MailChimp. Again, this is free. MailChimp is an awesome email automation tool. You could send emails up to 2,500 people, I believe, for free, which is insane. And you have professional looking marketing emails. And aside from the professional looking marketing emails, you do not, as a business, want to email from Gmail or Outlook or Yahoo or any email service provider like that to an email list. The reason why is you're going to be quickly blacklisted and flagged for being a spammer. And your emails are going to be in people's junk box more often than not. In order to send out mass emails to multiple people, you need an email service provider like MailChimp or Constant Contact or iContact, or there's a million of them out there that exist. I like MailChimp because it's kind of like the industry standard. They have the free version, and then the paid versions are really beneficial as well. And so they have pre-made templates. It's easy. Anybody can go in there. You just upload your list. And then if you want to get really fancy and creative with it, you can start segmenting your list to where it's not just one gigantic list. You have a list of maybe people who are customers. You have a list of people who are prospects. You have a list of people who may be affiliates or community members or whatever. You can start segmenting your list by different types of people. And all of that is done through MailChimp. The other cool part about MailChimp is that you can see analytics. I sent this email to 500 people and had a 27% open rate, meaning 27% of the people went to their inbox, they opened it up, and then I had like a 4% click-through rate, meaning they clicked on the link to whatever I was trying to forward them over to. Another thing is to start a blog on your website. Wix has this option. You could do this with WordPress. WordPress is another website builder tool. Well, it's really a blogging platform, but we build 99% of the websites that we create from Butler are actually built on the WordPress platform. And so you could start a blog. It doesn't cost any extra money to start a blog on your website. And what you do is you start sharing content, meaning updates and stories and news and things that are happening with your business or in your industry. And then you could share that content on social media and on MailChimp and through email. This is what I call content stacking. You're using one piece of content that you created on your website, you're sending it out on your social media page, and you're emailing it out to everybody. Again, this is all free stuff. This one is not free, okay? This is having always on Facebook ads for name recognition. So it's free to have a Facebook page. It's free to post content on Facebook. But like I told you, Facebook has about a 2% organic reach. They will only show your content that you're posting for free to maybe 2 people or 2% of your following. If you want to increase your reach and get the best bang for your buck, you need to pay Facebook for ads. Now, it's very tempting to just click the boost post button on Facebook. You don't want to do that for a few reasons. One is they're going to just do their best to try to boost it to your friends and or the people who like your page and their friends. But you don't really get to narrow down your audience, right? Maybe all the people that like your page are friends and family and staff. It's not necessarily your target market. And so when you, instead of boosting a post, you do a Facebook ad, there's a difference. You can narrow down your target audience. And Facebook is very smart with the way we can narrow down who we're looking for. If we're looking for females between the age of 35 and 55 who live in a particular zip code, who are interested in do-it-yourself home projects, right? We can get down that narrow, and it'll tell you with that list there's X amount of people that you can reach, and this is how much it'll cost you per day if you want to get the best bang for your buck. And so what I would suggest is having always on Facebook ads for name recognition, meaning an ad that you're always going to pay for. This is something that people ask, does this work? The goal here is just name recognition. So it's working if you're getting seen by your target audience. The other thing is this is free, bare minimum. Me and my team use this. We use the paid version just because we have to. We have a lot more features that we need. But Asana is a project management tool. It's a project management tool, and we use it to keep all of our tasks, our projects, and everything else organized. But you can use Asana to manage not only your tasks and projects, but you can also create a content calendar. By content calendar, I mean a list of all the pieces of content that you want to eventually create, all the blog posts and emails, social media posts. So instead of just posting as you get inspired to post, which will never happen, you have to create a plan of all the content that you're going to start sharing. And we could do that through Asana and keep track of who's responsible for posting what. So again, Asana is free. There's a free version of it. I highly recommend everybody check it out at least. All right. For time's sake, I'm going to skip a lot of this stuff, but I do want to talk about the conversion funnel, and we'll leave it open for questions. If you guys have any questions, please start typing those into the chat box. And so that way, when it comes to the Q&A, there's not going to be an awkward silence of me just sitting here waiting for any questions to come in. If you can start putting those in there now, that'd be great. So conversion funnel. If you never heard this term before, it's something that we use in marketing, and it just is there to explain that people go from never hearing about you before to becoming a loyal following, what we call a brand advocate. They'll return to you. They'll refer people to you. They're your loyal customers. Okay, and so you got to think about it like this. People go from awareness to loyalty, and there's a whole list of steps in between. And thinking about all of the different experiences or marketing opportunities or channels in each one of these categories is helpful for you to give kind of a bird's eye view of what your current marketing efforts are and what your future marketing efforts should be. And so just think about it like this. Out of 1,000 people who have been made aware of you, meaning they have never heard about you before, now they've heard about you. Out of 1,000 people, these are just hypothetical numbers, maybe 100 people will do research and they'll learn a little bit more. So awareness, this might be something like, I was at the Fresno Area Hispanic Foundation function and I met this business owner and we shook hands and I gave him a business card. That's awareness. They've now been made aware of you. It could be, I was in a Facebook group and someone asked a question and I was able to answer the question and be helpful and add value to them. Now they're aware of me and my business. Maybe it's, search engine optimization to where they're looking for a web design company, or they're looking for a real estate agent, or they're looking for a sign company, or whatever, fill in the blank, and they see your business. They are now made aware. Out of 1,000 people who are made aware, maybe 10%, 100 people will do some research to find a little bit more. Now that I got your business card, I might go to your website. If I see you on Google, I might click on your listing or visit your website. Your website's going to be a huge part of the research phase, by the way. Out of 1,000 people who hear about you, maybe 100 will do research. Out of those 100, maybe 10 of them, 10% will consider or engage with you, meaning they're ready, they're willing, they may be able, and maybe they fill out a contact form on your website. Maybe they DM you on Facebook. Maybe they like, comment, or share a post. Maybe they start a conversation with you somehow. And so that's consider or engage. And out of that, maybe 10% converts into an actual customer. They buy something with you. They spend money and convert into they go from prospect to customer. So, and then out of your customers, about 20% becomes your loyal following. So it's just like the 80-20 rule. 20% of your customers become 80% of your business. They repeat business. They refer all their friends. And they're always going to be loyal to you, right? And so again, these are hypothetical. So what you do in the conversion funnel exercise, if you want to do this on your own time, you draw out this pyramid and you start filling up what are all the different awareness channels that I have right now, and what are the awareness channels that I can focus on or add. What are where can people do research and learn about my company? Where should they be able to learn about my company? What can I add? How are they considering or engaging me? How should they be considering or engaging? So you'll find as you go through this whole process, little things that like you could probably improve. So for example, you in the research phase, maybe you have a website, but your website doesn't have a contact form. And so now you might say, okay, well, we need to add a contact form. Or maybe there's like, we can add a chat bot to your Facebook page or to your website to where people can automatically chat with you. That's an option. All right. So you list out all the different channels and then you list out all the different opportunities in each of those channels. Hopefully that's making sense and it's not going too far. Okay. The last thing I'm going to share is 3 questions you need to ask yourself. And then I'm going to stop after this and open it up for Q&A. So the 3 golden questions, this is another marketing strategy that you could put in your back pocket. Who is my audience? What is their felt need? Where is their attention? If you could do this really quickly, take screenshots or write these down. The same 3 questions. Who is our audience? Who are we serving? This determines your target audience. List 1 to 4 different types of people that you may be serving. So if, again, real estate, it might be first-time home buyers. It might be first-time home sellers. It could be veteran home buyers. It could be, whatever it is. You list 4 different types of users that you want to serve, and then adjectives to help you find creative ways to pitch your offer. So it might be busy moms. It might be frustrated barbecue dads, or depending on what product or service you're offering. Use adjectives to help find creative ways to pitch your offer. Second is, what problem do they want solved as it relates to what you do? So your elevator pitch: problem, solution, your offer. Determines your message. And then third, where's their attention? We just talked about the conversion funnel. This helps you determine where you should focus all of your marketing efforts. And you focus inbound. Where's their attention inbound? Where's their attention in outbound? Where's their attention in networking? So where are they looking? Where can I reach out to them? And then where can I congregate with them? Okay, now that you've answered those 3 questions, you could repeat the process and then prioritize until you have at least 4 to 7 marketing initiatives that you could do for 4 to 6 months. Make sure your strategy touches all of your users. You're going to do this at home and develop a strategy. All right, I'm skipping all of this stuff just for time's sake. I do want to talk about a couple of free things that we're offering to businesses during the shelter-in-place initiative, the shelter-in-place order. So right now, you should be working on your business. You should be strategizing your marketing, communicating with your people, and creating content. So we're helping businesses do this for free with a couple of different options right here for free. So on the one hand, we have if you go to butlerbranding.com/free workbook, we typically sell, which has a lot of these exercises in it. We typically sell for $40. We're giving it away for free. So go there and download this if you guys want this document with some of these exercises. butlerbranding.com/free workbook. Second thing is for essential businesses who have to change their process of delivering products or services, and you need to announce that. We're doing free video production in our studio. We have a studio in downtown Fresno in Bitwise South Stadium, and we're doing free video production for select businesses. And so to see how you qualify for that, go to butlerbranding.com/COVID help, and then it talks about all of these. The other thing is, actually, if you just go to the landing page, you'll see his email name, and he's our video production director. And then the last thing we're doing, not the last, second to last, is the email marketing assessment. Will help you get set up with MailChimp. Will help you import your list and give you a strategy for how you could use email marketing. We're doing that for free. Art Zaragoza, who's our digital marketing director, is helping do that. Again, you can email me or email Art. And then I'm doing free strategy sessions. We're not going to be doing them with the whiteboard. We'll do it, on the phone or through a Zoom call. If you want to contact me, I'll spend about 30 minutes with you to an hour talking about your business, identifying different ways that you could take advantage of marketing. So those are some of the things that we're offering. I'm going to skip all of this. If you guys have any questions, contact me directly at Shawn@butlerbranding.com. Again, to be mindful of time, I'm going to stop there, and then we're going to start answering questions. All right. Someone says here, can you tell me how you would market to 17 to 24-year-old local people? So again, going to that question, who's our audience? You've identified that, 17 to 24-year-olds. The second part is the third part is what is their felt need, and then the third part is where's their attention. So where is the youth's attention? Primarily not on Facebook. Facebook is now, for the more mature audience. There are still some young people on Facebook, but Instagram is huge, and it's owned by Facebook, and so it's the Instagram platform is manageable from your Facebook ads platform, but also TikTok. TikTok is huge for the youth right now. Snapchat has kind of lost a little bit of steam in lieu of Instagram and Facebook stories, but TikTok is really big right now. And so maybe there's some creative ways you can utilize TikTok. You can target people through Instagram as well, and so that's one thing that I would suggest. For more information or to strategize a little bit more, I'd do that on a one-on-one with you. Someone says, I help businesses in ag. How do I apply the conversion funnel to create a new business to help market a new family business? Okay. In the ag industry, there are a lot of publications that are put out specifically for ag. And so I would think about maybe Ag Source Magazine. I would think about the World Ag Expo. I would be thinking about all those different types of things to where your audience's attention is. And so again, that's more of an industry specific thing. And so you got to think about who is my audience, people in the ag industry, what is their felt need that helps you create your offer, and where is their attention? What events are they going to? What publications are they reading? What websites are they frequenting? What are they Google searching to find whatever it is you do? Make sure that you're found whenever they're looking for that content. That can be on Google or social media. LinkedIn is another a big one right now. A lot of what we're finding in the ag industry is, the ag has there's a misnomer about the ag industry. There's a false assumption that people have is that, they're just a bunch of farmers. They don't use technology. And well, that's absolutely not true. You go to the World Ag Expo and there's all these crazy high tech companies that are out there serving the ag industry. And a lot of farmers are nowadays, they're not as old as you might think they are, and they're not as technologically ignorant as you might think they are. They're using social media. They're using LinkedIn to connect with people. LinkedIn is kind of like Facebook but for business and without the drama. And so you can target people in LinkedIn because they've now opened up their ad platform to be able to do that. So if I were in the ag industry, I'd be thinking about that. Carlos asks, how do I get a copy of this Zoom meeting? That is up to the Fresno Area Hispanic Foundation. I don't know if this is going to be live and available for afterwards. I'm open to it. But again, there's the marketing strategy workbook. If you go to butlerbranding.com and /free workbook or /COVID help, and you can get a lot of those free resources. All right. I know I zoomed through those questions. Is there any other questions, or Sandra from the Fresno Hispanic Foundation? Do you have anything that you want to ask that maybe I glossed over, or you want to go deeper on? Oh, let me see. All right. I just made you back the host. I don't know how to unmute you. Someone is asking, can I set up an appointment with you to create a marketing strategy from scratch? Yeah. Again, go email me directly and I'll send you a link to my calendar and we could talk about what options we have available. I'm doing free phone consults. We're not doing free full-on strategy. That is part of what we offer as a service to stay in business. And I always joke with people that 100% of the proceeds that go to our business go towards feeding hungry kids. Go to mine. And they're loud. I don't know if you guys could hear them next door playing video games as I'm working from home. But no. So we have paid strategy services as well as marketing services. But we're doing free marketing consults over the phone, and so I'll spend some time with you over the phone, just kind of bouncing around ideas, and that's always a helpful thing. All right, Sandra, I don't know if I can unmute you, um, but I made you the host again, and so I don't know if you want. Do you want me to close this out? How do you want to close this out? Oh, there you are.
We were able to figure that out. Yeah, so as Shawn mentioned, this is his contact information, and everyone that signed up through our email will be receiving a copy of this recorded webinar. And like you mentioned, if there's any other questions, we'll be in the line. In the meantime, I'll go ahead and share with you, everyone, our next upcoming webinars that we have listed. So our next webinar will be on Thursday, April 30 at 1 p.m. and we will be joined by Frank Orajel from World Financial Group to talk about legal entities and the tax responsibility for each. This webinar will be in Spanish, and on Friday, May 1st at 10 a.m. we will be joining the Business Services Center and other community partners to discuss technology tools and platforms to help business operations during the COVID-19 pandemic. They'll be sharing some technology and platforms that are available. Please sign up for these cost-free webinars by visiting fresnoahf.org/events. That is where we're uploading all of our upcoming webinars. And I would like to close this webinar by reminding you about Womanpreneur. The registration will be closing this Thursday, April 30. And if you're interested in participating, or if you know of a woman entrepreneur that would benefit from this program, please have them email us at incubator@fresnodbh.org. Doesn't look like there's any other questions, but thank you so much, Shawn, for your time, and also for the opportunity to have all of our participants download the book to get further guidance. And like you mentioned, right now is a very important time for a lot of these businesses to pivot their marketing strategy, and if they don't already have an online presence, maximizing that potential, because it's part of switching gears here when things are challenging, things are happening. So we hope everyone to join us for our next webinar, and thank you for joining us today. I don't know, Shawn, if you have any other remarks.
Yeah, no, thank you guys. It's my pleasure to help. Hopefully it was, I could get in rambling mode, and so hopefully it was clear and helpful. If not, I'm making myself available to you guys. And like I said, if you go to butlerbranding.com/COVID help, there's a few free resources we're doing to help businesses during this time. And yeah, glad to help you guys. If you have any other questions, I'll look in my inbox.